Handoff up the middle again. Peterson's got some room up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
It's time for high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Les Schwab Tires, and Sangster Motors. Now, let's go to live coverage of high school sports on the NCWLIFE Channel, your local TV station.
Panthers win the district championship.
Good evening, volleyball fans, and welcome to Wenatchee High School. It's the end of the season for both of these teams tonight as the Wenatchee Panthers host the Moses Lake Mavericks in Big-9 action. Moses Lake comes in with a record of 6-5 in the Big-9. They're currently in third place and would like to hold on to third place. They're going to have to get a little help maybe to do that. Meanwhile, Wenatchee has a chance to tie West Valley for the league championship here with a win tonight. It's senior night. It's a big night. They've got 5 seniors on the club for Wenatchee and for Coach Marnie McMahon, who's also probably coaching her final game here at Wenatchee High School. It's going to be a good one. We're going to talk to both coaches coming up on the pregame show as we continue. It's the Mavs and the Panthers coming up next here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we get ready for the Mavericks and Panthers, talking with Moses Lake head coach Crystal Trammell now. Crystal, you guys come in third place. Looks like that head-to-head with Davis, you took care of that. So you got a chance to do some good things come the postseason. What's your focus here tonight?
Have fun, play with intent, and compete. I told the girls we're in playoffs, something we haven't done in a few years, so we know what we need to do after tonight. Enjoy tonight. It's their senior night. We had ours Thursday. Enjoy it. Go with the ride.
Yeah, and sometimes the emotions of that can be a little overwhelming, can't they?
It can, as we found out on Thursday. But Wenatchee's a fantastic program, and we enjoy coming here. It's competitive. Marnie does a fantastic job, so we're actually honored to be a part of their senior night.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, this is a team that's only lost 6 games all season long and just 1 match all season long, and that was against West Valley. What do you tell the girls when you're looking at that? Is that, okay, here's who we need to be able to compete with if we want to do something come postseason?
Yeah, so again, we're building our culture anew this year, and so we take a look at Wenatchee. They're very similar to us, GMS, our style of play, and I tell the girls, you want to be that team. You want to be the team that others want to beat and others want to play. We love coming in and playing Wenatchee, so have fun, enjoy it.
Well, best of luck here tonight. Keep everybody healthy.
We'll try. Thank you.
There you go. Crystal Trammell joining us here on the pregame show. We'll come back and maybe talk to Marnie McMahon. We'll have to grab her before the senior night festivities get underway. We'll do that coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Welcome back on the pregame show here on the NCWLIFE Channel. They just wrapped up the senior presentation for tonight as Wenatchee celebrates the final home match of the season and of the careers of 5 seniors for Wenatchee High School. And it will be the final home match here for Marnie McMahon, who's had just an incredible high school coaching career of high school volleyball. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but recognizing the seniors, Ashton McMahon, also Aaron Walagorski, Zoe Gonzalez, Malia Nell, and Haley Long. Those are the 5 that were recognized here prior to the contest here tonight. Marty McMahon also given a recognition by Coach Jim, or by Athletic Director Jim Beeson, who says that McMahon in her career, both coaching at Cascade High School and here at Wenatchee High School, she has amassed a record of 255 and 53 as a head coach in 20 plus years of coaching volleyball. That is, Hall of Fame numbers, that is for sure. So congratulations to Marnie and to the seniors here on senior night at Wenatchee High School. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk to Marnie prior to the contest. I'm going to see if I can get her over here next to the table after they have the coaches meeting and the captains meeting here, and just get a couple of words from her. Emotional night for everybody involved as she says goodbye to Wenatchee and says goodbye to 5 seniors here this evening. Time for our starting lineup. So first of all, it's brought to you by TC Slingers. Let TC Slingers save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for a free estimate today at 509-885-2269. That's 509-885-2269. TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. All right, let's start it up with the home team here tonight. Wenatchee with a record of 12-1 overall. They're 9-1 in the Big-9. And get a win tonight, they'll share the Big-9 title. Although that is, Eastmont's on the road to West Valley. Stranger things have happened. You never know. Eastmont could knock West Valley off and then give Wenatchee the outright league title and a chance to host the district tournament coming up next week. But first things first, they got to take care of business against Moses Lake here tonight. So the starters for Coach McMahon tonight include Ava Jo Berry, a 5'6 sophomore, Ashton McMahon, a 5'7 senior, Kara DeMarjian, a 5'8 sophomore, Emma Tucker, a 5'5 sophomore, Zoe Gonzalez, a 5'9 senior, Malia Nell, a 6'2 senior, and Marin Stuber, a 5'9 sophomore. So see, there you got 4 sophomores in the starting lineup. Yeah, the future is certainly bright for the Wenatchee program, whether Marnie is here or not. Meanwhile, the non-starters for Coach McMahon here tonight include Elise Beyer, Bree Sackman, Aaron Walagorski, Riley Jones, Hallie Long, and Paige Solberg. Meanwhile, for the Moses Lake Mavericks, coming in with a record of 7-7 overall. They're 6-5 in the Big-9, currently in 3rd place. Their head coach is Crystal Trammell, who gave us a gracious amount of her time in our pregame show. She's assisted by Kelsey Ramos, Ashlyn Hanneberg, Amy Rader, and Caitlin Christie. Her starters include Kaylee Kellum, a 5'7 senior, Peyton Andrews, a 5'9 junior, Sydney McDonald, a 5'8 senior, Jaslyn Torres, they call her Jazz, 5'5 senior, Kenneth Stewart, a 5'8 sophomore, Maddie Bond, a 5'9 sophomore, and Catherine Pugh is a 6' senior. The non-starters for Coach Trammell here tonight: Reagan Hoffines, Annalise Hernandez, Kylie Voss, Cece Trineman, Caitlin DeCouber and Carden Martinez. Also, Grace Smith is rotated in from the JV squad as a non-starter here tonight for the Mavericks. I should mention that Marty McMahon's assistants are Kayla Randalls, Emily Urban, Jordan McGregor, Juan Sanchez, and Parker Iverson. We're about ready for volleyball here on the NCWLIFE Channel. I'll see if I can get Marnie over here to the table. Have a moment with her as we continue on the pregame show next year on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can just
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE Channel. It's been a busy night for Marty McMahon, who takes a moment here to join me on the pregame show. Marty, an emotional night. How you holding up with all of this going on?
I'm doing all right. I'm better than I expected to be, so I'm good.
Talk about this, and you know, you've got first things first. You want to win this. You want to get that share of the league title, but you also need to showcase your seniors and say thank you. How do you balance those two?
It's a hard balance. You know, we got to play first. Like I told them, you know, they got to relax and not be as emotional, save all the festivities for the end of the night. But it's a hard balance with the night. You know, these seniors knowing this is their last time on this court, and yet we're 2 games away from a league championship. So trying to balance that is important.
Now, one thing that we missed on our pregame show, we were doing some other recorded things, and we missed what you had to say, and I thought it was important if you could kind of rehash that for our audience that's watching here tonight about when you came in and took over this program and what you said to the crowd here tonight. I think that's rather remarkable.
Well, you know, my first year here, I remember the first night I coached, I turned around and I saw a small group of parents out there, and then I saw maybe 2 rows of student body. And I remember looking at my coaching staff saying, this has got to change. If we're going to be a volleyball program, we need to get fill these seats a little bit more. And of course with winning that helps, but the culture has changed. And we've got kids that play multiple sports in here. We've got an ASB leading these kids up. We got community members coming into the gym. So it's no more just a small group of parents and a few kids.
How do you do that? Do you have the girls kind of be an advocate for themselves around school and say, hey, come out to the game tonight?
Absolutely. That's what you got to do. And you got to get other coaches involved in other sports to support each other in that realm. So our volleyball girls get to all those football games they possibly can. and the football boys get here. Same with the soccer girls. And so the door swings both ways. And with that creates a really cool culture. And that's what we got going on here at Wenatchee.
Well, that's without a doubt. Let's talk about the match here tonight with Moses Lake. And, you know, we talk about the 5 seniors you have, but you got sophomores that are playing key, crucial roles for you. The future's bright, whether you're here or not. Let's talk about this match here tonight and what you expect from Moses Lake.
Yeah, we just got to control the tempo of the game. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Serve and pass game, we got to, you know, do a really good job on the outside pin, and the focus is to try to get our middles of the ball more in transition. That's something we've been working on. And if we can do that, we're going to put up some pretty high numbers tonight.
You've only lost 6 games in all the matches you've played all season long. What is the key to be able to do that and to shut so many people out?
Just discipline and consistency, and that starts in practice. You know, our practices are usually 2.5, 3 hours long, and trying to get these kids super disciplined on their mechanics and what they're doing. And if they do that well, it'll showcase in the live matches.
Well, you could get help from Eastmont tonight. We don't think that's going to happen, so that means on the road for the district tournament, for the district championship next week. How do you not think about that a little bit before you get done with tonight?
One game at a time. So I keep telling these kids, I mean, you know, Moses Lake is an up-and-coming program. Their coaching staff has done a phenomenal job with those ladies. So, you know, we can't, you know, just bat an eye at these guys. These guys are going to come contest us. And so everyone seems to have their best game against us. It's happened all year. So we just got to go out and play our game.
Well, congratulations on the great season so far. Good luck here tonight. Keep everybody healthy.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Marty McMahon joining us here on the pregame show. We'll take a break and come back and get you ready for volleyball. It's the Mavericks and the Panthers coming up on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Don't stress, just save up to $250 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Well, thanks again to Marty McMahon for joining us here on the pregame show. It's an emotional night for her and for her girls, and we appreciate her taking a moment to share a slice of her evening, as well as we bring you live volleyball action tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel with the Wenatchee Panthers hosting the Moses Lake Mavericks. Let's take a look at the standings coming into tonight. We kind of mentioned it briefly, but Wenatchee and West Valley both at 12-1 on the season, both at 9-1 in Big-9 play. And if things shake out the way we figure they will, they'll both share the co-league championship here tonight. Because of a number draw in the preseason, West Valley will have the #1 seed in the district tournament. That means they would host the district championship here next weekend. Wenatchee will be the #2 seed. Moses Lake in pretty good shape right now, whether they win or lose here tonight. This is the next to the last match here for Moses Lake. They've got one more at Eisenhower coming up on Thursday night. If Moses Lake is able to take care of business, they should finish third and have that third seed and a host game for the first round of the district tournament. There's playing games on Tuesday next, and then that first round of the district tournament, then everything will advance to go to West Valley after that. So you got Moses Lake at 7-7 overall, 6-5 of the Big-9, and third place coming into tonight. Davis in fourth place at 5-5, and the head-to-head between Moses Lake and Davis is handled by the Mavericks, as they won both of their matches this season. Eastmont currently in fifth place in the standings at 3-11 overall, 3-7 in Big-9 play. Eisenhower and Sunnyside both come into tonight with just 2 wins on the season in the Big-9. Ike is 2-8, Sunnyside 2-9. It'll be the odd man out in the postseason, as the last place team will not get a chance to play for the play-in game. So the number 3 and 4 teams will host the play-in game against the number 4 and 5 teams. The 5 and 6 teams in Big-9 standings. That'll be next week. So a lot on the line here, especially for the Mavericks as they come into this one here tonight. Now, as far as the WIAA RPI, this is the ranking system for volleyball, and this will matter when they get to the state tournament. But right now, Puyallup is ranked first at 15-0. You've got North Creek second at 14-0. Lake Stevens is ranked third at 10-2. West Valley is ranked fourth right now in the WIAA RPI system at 12-1. Wenatchee is ranked seventh in that same poll at 12-1. Moses Lake comes in ranked 32nd in the WIAA RPI at 7-7 overall. Our starting lineup, by the way, brought to you by TC Slingers. TC Slingers will save you time, money, and labor with their conveyor application. Call for a free estimate today at 509-885-2269. TC Slingers of Wenatchee, your landscape placement company. Again, the starters for both clubs: Wenatchee, Ava Jo Berry, Ashley McMahon, Kiera DeMartian, Emmy Tucker, Zoe Gonzalez, Malia Nell, and Marin Steuben. Meanwhile, for the Moses Lake Mavericks is Kylie Kellum, Peyton Andrews, Sydney McDonald, Jaslyn Torres, Kenneth Stewart, Maddie Bond, and Catherine Pugh. Those are the lineups. Our officials for tonight, our up official will be Kirk Einspar, and Sterling Bell will be our official on the floor here this evening. Coverage of Big-9 Volleyball here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you also by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge, 100% real cheese, and freshly rolled dough, making it Abby's Pizza Night tonight. Also by Biosports Physical Therapy. Find them online at biosports.net, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you tuned in at 7 and wondering, hey, how come volleyball's not going? Well, they had an extended, actually the JV game went a little long here as they played 3 very competitive games here earlier tonight, with the Wenatchee JV winning 2 of the 3. And then a ceremony for senior night as Wenatchee celebrates its 5 seniors on the club, as well as outgoing coach Marnie McMahon. So extended ceremony for that, and so that pushes back a little bit on the clock. We've got 5 minutes left on the warm-up clock, and we will get you ready for volleyball coming up after that here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Just a reminder, too, that coming up on Friday, our Big-9 football season concludes here locally with the Wenatchee Panthers hosting the West Valley Rams. Wenatchee has a chance to finish 4th in the Big-9, and that would mean a chance to play a play-in game to go to state next weekend. A lot on the line for the Big-9 here as it comes down to the final game of the regular season in the Big-9, with Eastmont, Sunnyside, and Moses Lake all tied atop the standings with 4-1 records. Eastmont plays at Moses Lake on Friday, and of course we'll have the West Valley and Wenatchee game here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Join Grant Olson and I for the play-by-play pregame from Lee Boffield Field of the Apple Bowl at 6:30. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Also senior night for the football squad coming up on Friday. We'll take a break, come back, get you more here from Wenatchee High School, where the Panthers play host to the Mavericks. It's Moses Lake and Wenatchee next year on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome back once again as warm-ups continue here prior to this match between Wenatchee and Moses Lake here on the NCWLIFE Channel as we wind down the month of October. Where has the season gone? My goodness. It started for Wenatchee back on September 3rd, right around the Labor Day time, as they faced Mount Si here at home and were able to claim a 3-2 win. Wenatchee reeled off 5 wins in a row at Central Valley, against Gonzaga Prep, at Eastmont, against Sunnyside, and then traveled to West Valley where they stubbed their toe for the first and what would turn out to be the only time this season, falling to the Rams on their floor by a final of 3-0. They bounced right back and reeled off 7 wins in a row coming in here to tonight. They beat Davis. They won at Moses Lake. They beat Eisenhower and Eastmont here at home. They traveled to Sunnyside and won. They also won the rematch with West Valley here at home, and an exciting night for the Panther program. 3-1 on that Tuesday, October 13th. The Panthers, that was a Thursday night on October 13th. Panthers then beat Davis on the road here last week, 3-0, and now host Moses Lake. I should mention that Wenatchee has one more after tonight. They'll be at Eisenhower coming up on Thursday. This is the final game of the season here for the Moses Lake Mavericks. They started off with a loss 3-0 at Lewis and Clark. Then they reeled off 3 wins in a row against Prosser, at Eisenhower, and then against Eastmont. Then they fell 3 in a row at Hanford, at Sunnyside, and then home to West Valley. They won at Davis, lost to Wenatchee at home, then won 3 in a row against Eisenhower, at Eastmont, and home against Sunnyside. They lost to West Valley last week, and then coming off a loss to Davis in quite a match, 3-2. That was just on Saturday night. So Moses Lake trying to finish on a winning note here, but they have a tall task in front of them in the form of the Wenatchee Panthers. As Wenatchee comes in ranked 7th in the state in the RPI. Moses Lake is ranked 32nd in the RPI. Wenatchee tied with West Valley coming into tonight to top the standings, and Moses Lake currently in 3rd place in those standings. So we're about ready for volleyball here tonight on the NCWLIFE Channel as senior night is wrapped up. They will have a little ceremony afterwards. We will not have that here on the NCWLIFE Channel. In fact, it will preclude us from doing a post-game show here on the broadcast, because as soon as the match is over, they'll have the underclassmen talk about their feelings and about the seniors. So that is a little ceremony. It's kind of a private thing that they do here after the final home match of the season. So that'll be coming up straight ahead. So once the match concludes, we will wrap up our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Now, if there are folks watching at home now, this is the only way you can get us, apparently, because of some problems, technically speaking. Some servers are down, and so as a result, we're not able to stream the game tonight here on Facebook. So unfortunately, those outside the area that don't have access to Charter or to LocalTel are not able to watch the game. By the way, for those of you that watch NCWLIFE Channel on Charter and you've been wondering where has my channel been, well, it should be back. They had some problems with the over-the-air signal to send NCWLIFE Channel to Charter. They got that fixed earlier today, so hopefully that's back and you're able to watch us tonight here on Charter on Channel 19, of course on LocalTel Channel 12. That's always there. You don't have to worry about that at all. We've got our anthem coming up, and so we'll take a step aside and get that out of the way and then get you ready for volleyball. First serve of the night. It's Wenatchee and Moses Lake coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can move this time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. Yet our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
Well, you're back just in time to get the announcement of the non-starters and starters for the Wenatchee Panthers here tonight by our public address announcer, Eric Kuntz.
A 6-foot senior, number 8, Aaron Woliborski. A 5'10" freshman, number 10, Riley Jones. Number 12, a 5'11" senior, Callie Long. And a 6-foot junior, number 13, Paige Soller. Let's meet tonight's starters for the Panthers. Number 1, a 5'7" sophomore, Ava Jo Berry. A 5'8" senior, number 4, Ashton McMahon. A 5'8" sophomore, number 5, Kiara Diversion. Number 6, a sophomore, 5'5", Emily Tucker. Number 9, a 5'9" senior, Zoe Gonzalez. Number 11, a senior, 6'3", Malia Nell. And number 15, a 5'11" sophomore, Lauren Stewart. Head coach for the Panthers, Marty McMahon.
All right, the starters have been announced, and now our national anthem here tonight.
Tonight, we have Karen Norman with support from Elise Bowles.
Well, the anthem is done. The lineups are done, and we are 25 minutes almost late here, but volleyball nonetheless happening on the NCWLIFE Channel tonight. The next to the last game of the season for Moses Lake. They got one more. No, it is the last game of the season for Moses Lake. One more for Wenatchee. They'll be on the road at Eisenhower coming up on Thursday night. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE Channel brought to you in part by Confluence Health. High quality care close to home. Confluence Health dedicated to improving their patients' health with safe, high quality care in 12 communities. Also by Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, providing heating and air conditioning service and installation since 1982. Serving residential and commercial. They specialize in indoor air quality, installation, and service or repair. Again, our officials tonight, Kirk Einspar is up. Sterling Bell is down. And we're ready for volleyball tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Ava Jo Berry, Ashton McMahon, Kira DeMargin, Emma Tucker, Zoe Gonzalez, Malia Nell, and Marin Stuber are the starters for Wenatchee. Kylie Kellum, Peyton Andrews, Sydney McDonald, Jaslyn Torres, Kenneth Stewart, Maddie Bond, and Catherine Pugh for Moses Lake. Mavericks in their maroon tops with gray, or make that with gold numbers and letters on the front. The libero has white with the maroon sleeves and a little accent of gold. Meanwhile, Wenatchee in their home whites tonight with the purple numbers trimmed in black. The libero for Wenatchee, Ashton McMahon, in the black uniform. As we're about ready for volleyball, and it will be Moses Lake serve to start us off, and to do so, Sydney McDonald, the 5'8" senior, will step up. Right hand for the right side. As Coach Crystal Trammell has her ladies ready to go, Marnie McMahon has hers ready to go, and here we go on the NCWLIFE Channel. Best of 5 got to win by 2. They played a 25, and the first serve is back to McMahon. She'll get it up front to Joe Berry, and this kill attempt is in by Demersion, and it is a point for Wenatchee. Nell will come out. In comes Stuber, and back to serve will be McMahon here for Wenatchee. We'll keep track of lead changes and ties throughout the match here tonight. McMahon serve a little bit, well, let's see, it looked wide, but no. The linesman back there says it was in, and so that'll be a point to Wenatchee on the ace by McMahon. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Wenatchee High School for this one. McMahon, right-handed server from the back left side. Cross court, she tried to go, but got it right into the net. Gives Moses Lake their first point of the contest. Wenatchee resplendent in their sleeves once again to protect elbows heading down to the floor. Service, back line, McMahon is there. Joe Berry will feed it ahead to Gonzalez. Back line, good job of saving it there for Moses Lake by Torres. They get it back across, does the Mavericks. Now Gonzalez again with the kill attempt, the sprawling attempt by Moses Lake. They do get it back over. Nice job, Kenneth Stewart, to get it back over. Joe Berry with the swipe up front for Wenatchee. It was Stuber. And we're going to get a point for Wenatchee on 2 hits against Moses Lake. Substitution for Wenatchee. In comes Elise Beyer. And out goes Zoe Gonzalez. Beyer will have the serve as Wenatchee leads at 3-1. Service Beyer right into the net. So a couple of unforced errors for Wenatchee to go, and that was something that I thought we might see a little bit of with the emotions of the night on senior nights here for Wenatchee High School. Jaslyn Torres on the service. She gets it across. McMahon is there. Up front it comes. Now Joe Berry with the kill. Cross-court sprawling play for Moses Lake to keep it alive. Getting it back over was Peyton Andrews. Serve, or the set up front, kill by Wenatchee. The touch, though, by Moses Lake. They can't quite get containment of it, and it will be a point to the Panthers. 4-2. Substitution here. Wenatchee will bring in Bree Sackman. And back to serve will be Kiera Demirjian. Talented bunch of sophomores here for Wenatchee High School, but again, another unforced error on the serve. That is 3 uncharacteristic here for Wenatchee in this early going. 4-3 the score. Wenatchee on top. Service here for Moses Lake by Maddie Bond. Her serve is across. Down to a knee is Tucker, and a kill up front by Wenatchee. Beautiful spike there by Bree Sackman. Nell comes back in to replace McMahon for Wenatchee. Back to serve, meanwhile, is Marin Stuber, 5'9" sophomore, one of these many sophomores in the lineup for Coach McMahon here as they get ready for the postseason. Service across the line, down to a knee to get it. Good job by Torres. A little touch to get it across the net. Here's a kill attempt for Sackman. Stewart will get it back across. Swipe by Nell, and that'll be a point to Wenatchee. Touch by Moses Lake, came out of bounds right into my lap here, as a matter of fact. Stuber will have the service again. Panthers up by their largest in the game so far, 6-3. Cross court, down to a knee. Nice job of getting that one. It was, Torres. Kill at the net by Joe Berry. It got across and will skip down off of the front of Peyton Andrews. Be a point to Wenatchee. Andrews got up high, but that ball just ricocheted off of her back into the net. Another serve here for Stuber, serving 4 points in a row. Back line, Torres is there. Now rotated up front, and Kellum got it across. Here's the set and the spike attempt by Sackman again, and this ball will ricochet out of bounds. Another point for Wenatchee. Boy, Breeze got it honed up pretty good here to start this one. 8-3, Panthers by 5. Service across and an ace. Trying to get down to a knee was Annalise Hernandez. Couldn't quite get down to it. Falls in for the point. 6 points serving here for Marin Stuber. Her service returned by Hernandez. A kill attempt by Kellum. There is Wenatchee. The reverse. Joe Barry with the kill. Moses gets it back. Nice job by Andrews. Up front it comes for Wenatchee. The swipe again is by Nell this time. Block attempt by Wenatchee, and they're not going to be able to get to this one. And a point will fall in for Moses Lake. Sub for the Mavericks as Reagan Huffines will check in. She will replace Kaylee Kellum in the lineup, and it will be Huffines on the serve. First game here tonight, best of 5 on NCWLIFE Channel. Services to McMahon. Up front it comes to Byer. Kill, block. Wenatchee under the net. Point to Moses Lake. Been all Panthers so far in this first game, but Moses Lake trying to make a counter here as Hoffines has the service. Softly gets it across McMahon, down and a touch at the net. Beautifully done up front by Kenneth Stewart. The 5'8" sophomore just saw the opportunity, rose up, and was just a slight tap. Wenatchee had no counter. 9-6. Another soft serve. Joe Barry is there. Here's the set up front. Sackman got it back across. Now the counter. And the kill is too deep off of Kenneth Stewart. It'll be a point to Wenatchee. Gonzalez will come in to replace Byer for Wenatchee. Back to serve will be Ava Joe Barry, 5'6" sophomore. Down the line, ace. Annalise Hernandez kind of in between there, trying to return that one as she and Jaslyn Torres were kind of bound up there. Joe Barry again on the service. And again, Hernandez down to a knee. Moses Lake gets it back across. Wenatchee, McMahon scrambling and saves it to Sackman, then up to Gonzalez. Can't get it back across, and a point to Moses Lake. Substitution here for the Mavericks. Catherine Pugh comes in, gets some height up front at 6 feet. Meanwhile, the service will be to Peyton Andrews. Junior, right hand from the right side. Back line, it goes to McMahon. Up front to Joe Barry. Crosses over to Sackman. Sackman, the kill goes off of a fingertip out of bounds. It'll be a point to Wenatchee. And I think that went off the block attempt by Sydney McDonald up front. Back in comes Hernandez. Meanwhile, for Wenatchee, in is Emmy Tucker. She will have the service. McMahon doing a good job of the rotation here for the Panthers. Leading it by 5. Service by Tucker. Back line, there is Huffines. The kill, hefty swipe by Stewart. Wenatchee counters. They get it back across. Stewart. They cross it back up, and a touch by Nell on the defensive ends. Wenatchee sprawling all over the place. Sackman with a kill. Still alive. Moses Lake needs to get it back over here. They do. Huffines does it. Now to Nell up front. Wenatchee kind of out of sorts here. The block. Here it comes back again. And it's what a volley for this point here. The 19th, make that 20th point of the first game here tonight. A block by Nell. Gonzalez keeps it alive. Joe Barry with the hit. McMahon gets it back over. The set, the block, the point. Wenatchee. Nell finally, after several opportunities at the net, gets the block. Wenatchee up 13-7. Service again for Emmy Tucker. Trying to earn Wenatchee 2 points in a row. Tucker's serve, back line it goes. There is Huffines. They'll rotate it up front, and a sprawling play by Sackman on the back line for Wenatchee. Kill attempt at the net, and this one skips off of the webbing of the net and will be a point to Moses Lake. Substitution for the Mavericks. Maddie Bond is in. Annalise Hernandez is out, and back to serve is Sydney McDonald. McDonald served to the back line. McMahon is there. Up front to Joe Barry. She'll reverse it to Nell, and it's in. Beautiful spike just inside the back line for Malia Nell on senior night. Marin Stuber comes back in for Wenatchee. Panthers will have the service, and Marty McMahon will do the honors here, with Wenatchee leading it by 6. Service, ooh, hefty serve. They got it back across, and right there to say thank you very much, Marin Stuber. With the kill, and a huge smile on her face. Again, McMahon looks over to Marnie for the instructions on where she wants to serve it. Cross court it goes. Back line to Torres. Up front it comes. They'll reverse the sets. And the kill attempt by Stewart. Wenatchee with the counter. A little touch by Gonzalez. Joe Barry sprawling to the ground. Gets it back across. Joe Barry there on the return on another hefty kill attempt by Moses Lake. Into the net it goes by Demersion, and a point to Moses Lake. Kellum comes back in for the Mavericks, and back to serve is Stewart. 15-9, Mavericks playing Wenatchee tough here tonight. Stewart on the service. Back line it goes. That may have been out, but Wenatchee returns it. Now the kill attempt at the line. It's off a hand, goes out of bounds. Demersion will get the kill and the point for Wenatchee. Substitution as out goes Zoe Gonzalez. In comes Elise Beyer. Also in comes Waligorski, and she will replace Marin Stuber. And it will be Beyer on the service for Wenatchee. Junior right hand, right side, goes middle back. Little push attempt up front by Maddie Bond. Kill by Wenatchee. And that will go under the net off of a Maverick as Catherine Pugh went down to a knee. And it'll be a point to Wenatchee. Wenatchee early on, 3 unforced errors on serves. This time they get it across. They've done a little bit better here the last several points in a row they've had a chance to serve on. But this beautiful job of finding the hole in the pond by Kaylee Kellum. Closes the gap to 7 at 17-10. Jaslyn Torres will be the server. Torres' serve, cross court, tough one. Barry is there. Up front, Beyer. Now the kill attempt, and it's out. A little bit too wide by Demersion. And a point to Moses Lake. Mavericks have not won multiple points in a row very often here. In fact, that might be only the second time with consecutive points won in this first game. 17-11 our score. Cross court pass. Now we're going to get a rotation problem for Wenatchee. According to Kirk Einsbar, our up official. Apparently as the service came, Wenatchee didn't have enough bodies on the front by the net, and so the point goes to Moses Lake. Cross court serve again. Wenatchee gets it. A little tap of the net by Demersion. Cycle it back to Joe Barry. Down goes Torres. And a block at the net. Beautiful job by Wenatchee. Moses Lake, though, with a counter. They get it back across to Andrews. McMahon. Now the kill and a block and a point to Moses Lake. Demersion just a little bit off on some of her kills here in the early going. Service for Jaslyn Torres. Into the net it goes. That's Moses Lake's first unforced error of the contest. Bree Sackman comes in for Wenatchee. Meanwhile, back to serve will be Kira Demersion. Service down the line. There is Kellum. They'll rotate it up front, and the ball will skim off a finger, go out of bounds. Nice kill on the sophomore Maddie Bond there for Moses Lake. Got another problem with Wenatchee up front here. And a point to Moses Lake here. So 18-14 is our score. So Wenatchee just some mental breakdowns here tonight so far. Cross court, kill by Sackman. This one is in, and Bree's having a good first game here for Wenatchee. Annalise Hernandez comes in for Moses Lake. Meanwhile, Malia Nell back in for Wenatchee. McMahon will have a seat. Also taking a rest will be Aaron Wologorski. And in to serve it is Marion Stuber. Marion with the Panthers leading by 5. Into the net it goes. Another unforced error. That's 4. Make that 5 here in this first game for Wenatchee. Kellum replaced by Huffines, and I believe Reagan will have the service. She will. In a 4-point contest. How about this? Huffines on the serve. Back line it goes. There is Wenatchee. Up front to Byers. She'll set it up for Nell. Little tap. Moses Lake gets it back. Then the Mavericks get it back over by Stewart. McMahon. Now Sackman with the slap. Diving down. Nice job by Stewart for Moses Lake. Panthers counter. Byer. Kill. Nell. There. Point. Wenatchee. Boy, Malia Nell just, she has the height at 6'2". She doesn't have to get up all that high. Just timing. It's all about timing, and she's doing it well so far in this one. Panthers up by 5. Ava Joe Barry on the service. Down the back line it'll go, and an ace basically after Annalise Hernandez can't handle the serve from Joe Barry. Ava Joe with the service again here for the Panthers. Cross court she'll go, and there is Hernandez. Up front it comes. Now the kill attempt at the net, and it's in for Moses Lake. How about these Mavericks? Upstart Mavericks here tonight. Peyton Andrews with the kill. Pugh comes in. Back to serve is Andrews. How many times you see that where lady that gets the point then gets the service? In the middle of the pond, there is Wenatchee. Nell with a kill attempt, and that'll work. In for Wenatchee is Emmy Tucker. She'll have the service. 3 away from a Wenatchee win here in game 1. Tucker on the service. Right hand from the left side. Cross court it goes, and that's an ace. Hernandez has the ball go off of her forearm and then spin out of bounds towards our opposite way here at Wenatchee High School. Again, Tucker for the service for Wenatchee. Chance to win it out here. Cross court it goes to Hernandez again. This is right up front for Lionel, but her kill skips off the top of the net and then goes out of bounds. It wasn't touched by Moses Lake, so it's point to the Mavericks. Hernandez out and Maddie Bond back in. Get some height up front for the Mavericks. And the service by Sydney McDonald. Joe Barry to Nell. In. Kill. 24-17 Wenatchee. Chance to win it right here with the captain, Marty McMahon, on the serve. I should say Ashton McMahon on the service. Done that several times here the past several years. So Ashton with the service, trying to win it for Wenatchee here in game 1. Little soft serve, tough to handle. Moses Lake does. And they get it across, does Torres. Set up front kill. Oh my, that is just impossible to handle as the swipe by Marion Stuber gives Wenatchee a win in game 1, 25-17. We'll take a break and come back. Get you ready for game 2 here tonight between the Mavericks and Panthers. You're watching Big-9 Volleyball on the NCWLIFE Channel, brought to you in part by Global Car Care. ASC certified technicians will take good care of your vehicle, whether you need general maintenance or have a European specialty car. You can count on Global to keep you on the road. Back with more after this here on the NCWLIFE Channel.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Wenatchee wins the first game here tonight over Moses Lake, 25-17. Credit the Mavericks for playing them pretty tough here in that first game. Second game coming up here on the NCWLIFE Channel. And our coverage of volleyball tonight brought to you in part by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop and schedule your time on their Full Swing S4 widescreen golf simulators at 509-884-4653. That's 509-884-4653. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, living healthy, local, and pest-free. You can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. That's 509-423-2207. Well, Moses Lake had the service on our first game. I believe that means Wenatchee will have the service here for game 2. Out there for the Mavericks is Kenneth Stewart, along with Cece Trineman will get the start here in the second contest. Maddie Bond in the lineup, along with Catherine Pugh. And Kylie Voss will be replaced by the libero, Jaslyn Torres. Meanwhile, for Wenatchee, it is Ava Jo Berry, along with Kiera Demersion. Also up front is Hallie Long. So too is Erin Waligorski. So a little bit different look here for Wenatchee in game 2. Emmy Tucker and Ashton McMahon. Tucker will have the service as Marin Stuber takes a seat. As McMahon comes in, the libero. And here we go with the service for game 2 by Emmy Tucker for the Wenatchee Panthers. Cross-court serve. Boy, that's tough to handle. Kellum is there. Up front it goes. Now the kill attempt. Back line. Too deep. A little bit too strong for Maddie Bond. It's got to be so hard to get those kills in from when you're about 10 feet, 12 feet away from the net. You got to time it. You got to have the angle of the dangle just right. Tucker with the service. Into the net it goes. Another unforced error for Wenatchee. It's their 6th of the night here against Moses Lake. Mavericks just one unforced error, service error here in the contest. Cece Trineman will have her first service of the night. Back line it goes for Wenatchee. A little touch at the net. Soft serve, and that'll work as a point by Erin Waligorski. Aaron quickly replaced here in the lineup as Stuber comes back in, and McMahon will have the serve. Ashton with the service. Ooh, that's tough. Another unforced service error for Wenatchee. She had the right idea, just tried to really go soft in the front right corner pocket, but just couldn't get it over the net. So we're tied, and that'll be our first tie other than zeros here tonight. And the service here for Moses Lake, back line is McMahon. Off to Jo Berry, and the kill attempt at the net goes into the net by Hallie Long. And a point to Moses Lake, so our first lead change of the night. Gives the Mavericks a 3-2 lead here in the second game. Again, best of 5. If we go to a 5th game, then it's played to 15. Got to win by 2. Jo Berry. And another slap here, errant by Marin Stuber. Moses Lake with its largest lead here of the contest here tonight at 4-2. Service is by Kenneth Stewart. Not sure what we were waiting for, but everybody's all ready to go now. Wenatchee had 2 players collide with each other on that return. Here's a nice little soft touch up front by Stuber. Moses Lake with the counter. They got it back across. Ava up front, swiped by Stuber, and now the kill attempt. Actually, a little two-handed shove by Bond. McMahon to Demersion. Up front to Trineman. The set, the kill. McMahon is there. Now back across. Moses Lake looking for the kill. That may have been too deep. Jo Berry's going to have to get it back over. She does. Back line, it goes to Torres. Sprawling down for Wenatchee was Demersion, and a point for the Panthers on a beautiful kill. Up front left, I think Marin Stuber got that one again. Point for Wenatchee brings the Panthers to within one here at 4-3. Service will be by Elise Beyer. 5'6" junior surveys the landscape in front of her. Gets the service across. Torres is there. And then Moses Lake got it back across, but it's out of bounds. Good communication by Wenatchee. Coach McMahon talking to Ashton saying, I think that's out. We're tied again. Second tie of this contest at 4-4. Good partisan crowd on hand here tonight at Wenatchee High School. Kellum with the return. And Wenatchee, no communication up front, as Mandy Bond just did a little dink at the net, or maybe that was Trudeman. Nonetheless, point for Moses Lake. They're back up by one. And Jazz Torres will have the serve. Cross court she goes. Wenatchee is there. Here's the kill up at the line, and a beautiful job by Marin Stuber again for Wenatchee. 5'9" sophomore coming through with one hit after another for the Panthers. Another tie again, our third here, the contest at 5-5. Demersion now with the service for Wenatchee. Down the line it goes. Kellum is there. Cross court. Now they'll get it up front to McDonald. Wenatchee. Sackman. Scrambled by Trudeman. And this one's too deep off of the hand of Kenneth Stewart. Point to Wenatchee. Second lead change here in this second game. And Demersion with the service. Jump serve into the net it goes. 3 unforced service errors here in this second game. 8 on the night for Wenatchee. Very uncharacteristic of a Marnie McMahon team. Service here for Moses Lake by Bond. To McMahon. To Beyer. Kill. Stuber. Point. Wenatchee. Annalise Hernandez, that is, comes back in for Moses Lake. Mandy Bond takes a seat. Service for Wenatchee is by Stuber. Again, here you have a situation where the lady that gets the point then gets the service. Back line is Moses Lake, and Hernandez got it back across. Kill by Wenatchee. Little dink there by Solberg, who's in. Touch at the nets on a block attempt. Wenatchee having to get bodies in motion and able to get a little help here for Moses Lake, as Torres was there on the return, but nobody helped out. Again, Marin Stuber with the service for Wenatchee, now to their largest lead at 2 points here in the second game. Stuber serve. Ooh, beautiful job. Torres gets down for it. Stuber gets the bump, and the spike here for Wenatchee is a point to Moses Lake, a little bit too deep here. McMahon comes back in for Wenatchee, and Reagan Hoffines comes in for Moses Lake, and she'll have the service here, trailing it by 1. Hoffines serve a little bit too short. Not been many of those for Moses Lake on the service here tonight. In fact, that's only their second, according to my notes. Hallie Long comes back in for Wenatchee, replaces Elise Byers. Solberg. Barry on the serve. Back line and Hernandez. Boy, it's been a tough night for Annalise Hernandez for the Mavericks. Ava Joe Barry again on the service for Wenatchee. Kicks the top of the net. Hernandez is there, then Torres. And Hernandez got it back across. McMahon up front, it goes to Joe Barry. Here's the kill, little touch at the net for Wenatchee by Solberg. And now this kill by Moses Lake finds a hole. Nice job by Kenneth Stewart. Back in is Catherine Pugh, and back to serve for the Mavericks is Kylie Voss. trailing it by 2. Back line it goes to Wenatchee's Demirjian. Here's the kill by Sackman down the line, and it's a little bit outside the line, so a point for Moses Lake. Again, Voss serving for the Mavericks. Cross court should go, by Long, and it's blocked right back in her face, and a point to Moses Lake. Hernandez replaced by Bond. And CC Trineman will have the service. Mavericks trail it by 1. We've had 3 ties, 2 lead changes here in this game. And a beautiful play here up front for Wenatchee by Aaron Waligorski. Found a hole in that defense and just lightly touches it across the net. Ashton McMahon on the service here for Wenatchee. Haven't had too many extended serving successes here for either team tonight. Moses Lake up front. McMahon is there off the kill attempt by Bond. Now the kill by Wenatchee. Into the net it goes. As Demirjian just having a tough time for that left front spot with that right-handed kill. About 3 or 4 of those that have gone into the net so far tonight for Kiera. Kenneth Stewart now serving for the Mavericks, trailing it by 1. Goes middle back, and that one misplayed by Wenatchee. Amy Tucker can't handle it. It goes out of bounds. That will go down as basically an ace for Moses Lake and Kenneth Stewart. And we have our 4th tie of the second game. Stewart serve. Back line, McMahon kind of caught between there. Wenatchee gets it up front and the kill, and it's in. Boy, beautiful block up front for Moses Lake by Catherine Pugh. 6-footer getting up high. It's one thing to make the block. It's another thing for that ball to go in, and it did. Nice job. 3rd lead change here this game. Moses Lake is playing tough tonight, and there's an ace. And Wenatchee's going to take a timeout. How about that? As Marnie McMahon wants to talk it over with her team here as they trail it by 2 here in the second game. As we mentioned in our pregame, Wenatchee's only lost 6 games in all their matches so far this season, but a little shaky here in game 2. We'll take a 30-second break, come back. You're watching Big-9 Volleyball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Timeout taken by Wenatchee as Coach Marnie McMahon wants to talk it over with her ladies. Not comfortable with what she's seeing out there right now as Wenatchee's having a hard time with communication and bodies in their rotation. As they trail the Mavericks 14-12 here, and the service continues for Kenneth Stewart. McMahon down to a knee, up front to Ava Jo Berry, and the kill attempt will skip off a hand going out of bounds on the kill by Demirjian. And a point to Wenatchee. Well, just what you want those timeouts to do is to stop a little run by the opposition and maybe give your ladies a chance for a win and to get the point win there. Elise Beyer will come in on the service here for Wenatchee. Trailing it by 1. Down the line it goes. Kylie Kellum is there. Kellum will get the set back to her in a block at the nets, and we've got a little net play going back and forth. And now a little touch for Wenatchee into the net, I think, is Moses Lake, as Maddie Bond got a little too close there. Tied up again, our 5th tie here in the second game. Berry, service, back line, and Torres. Wenatchee got it back across on a little touch. Now Moses Lake's Kellum gets it back across. Ava Jo Berry, and the swipe up front by Demirjian. That'll work as a point. So that timeout, kind of timely for the Panthers. Byer. Back line there is Stewart. Up front, the rotation. Joe Barry was left all alone, so she'll get it back across. Block attempt at the net on the kill by Killam. Point to Wenatchee. 5 ties, 4 lead changes, but Wenatchee seemingly taking a little bit of control here away from the visitors. Again, the service by Byer. Back line is Torres. Up front to McDonald. Down to Killam. Killam cross court. Beautiful play, and it was in. Oh, my. Kaylee Killam. Good vision, good placement, and a point to Moses Lake. So just as it looked like the Panthers were wrestling control away, Moses Lake gets the point and the serve here for Jaslyn Torres. Back line it will go. There is Wenatchee, and they had a little miscommunication up front, but they do get it back by Bree Sackman. McMahon to Joe Barry. Kill attempt up front by Stuber. McMahon again to Joe Barry. Here's Sackman. Into the net it goes. Excuse me, Demersion again. That right hand from the left side up front just not working right now for Kier Demersion. Yet another tie in this one. 6 in this contest. Down to a knee. Wenatchee's able to get it back across. And woo, there's a hefty hit by Demersion. And it will be out. And another point for Moses Lake. 5 lead changes. Mavericks came to play here tonight. Cross court, and that would have been out had Wenatchee let it go. They play it. So now the Mavericks on the counter. Little touch at the nets. They get it back across. A little dish of soft serve going with the hard hits tonight. And this one will be a point for Stuber and the Panthers. Sackman will come back in. Out goes Tucker, and back to serve is Demersion. Tied at 17. 7 ties in this one. Stewart is there. She'll get it back across. McMahon up front to Joe Barry, and a kind of a half-hearted swipe there by Stuber. Block at the nets, and 4 hits going to be, a carry going to be whistled against Moses Lake, so a point to Wenatchee. 6th lead change here of this second game. Wenatchee won the first one, 25-17, if you're just joining us. Jump serve, well done for Wenatchee. Here's the kill, and Wenatchee lets it go. Pugh, a little bit too deep. Excuse me, that was Bond with the kill, a little bit too deep. Service continues for Demersion. Back line, Stewart is there in a scramble, but they're not going to get it. Killam trying to whip a hand up in the air. We're going to get a timeout taken by Moses Lake this time around as Wenatchee's on a little run. They lead at 20-17 here in the second game. We'll take a 30-second break. You're watching Big-9 Volleyball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
Big-9 Volleyball here on the NCWLIFE Channel is brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously every time you stop by. Also by Sangster Motors, family-owned and operated home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. Find out more at Sangster Motors. 20-17, been a back-and-forth contest here in the second game. Wenatchee leads it by 3 after the Moses Lake timeout. Both teams taking a little respite in this second game. And the service continues here for Wenatchee by Demersion. Moses Lake, Killam. Oh, that was deep, but Wenatchee tries to return it. Panthers get it across. Back line is Torres. Up front it comes. The block by Wenatchee. Nice job by Bree Sackman. That's going to be a point for Wenatchee. Kiara Demersion doing a great job of the service here. The 5'8 sophomore at it again, leading it by 4. Largest lead by either team here in the second game. Back to Torres. Kind of surprised her. It kind of rode in on her quickly. Kellum is there to McMahon. Up front to Ava Jo Berry. Here's the swipe up front and a kill by Stuber. Sometimes it just that terminology that I'm using, swipe, it just kind of seems more like a swipe than an outright kill. Substitution for Wenatchee. Riley Jones, a freshman, comes in. She'll come in the front line. Wenatchee up by 5. Kellum. Now Torres got it back over. McMahon, now a kill attempt up front by the freshman who just checked in. Nice job by Riley Jones. Jo Berry crosses it over to Sackman. Sackman just kind of punched at it. Kellum to the floor. And now beautiful spot and good eyes by Kylie Voss. Found a hole and put it in there. Stops a string for Wenatchee. Gives the Mavericks a point and the service to Maddie Bond, trailing it by 4. Bond service, cross court, tough one. Demersion is there. Jo Berry to Sackman. Oh, Bree. Oh, my. Hernandez comes in for Moses Lake. In for the Panthers is Stuber. And Marin will have the service. Wenatchee 2 away from winning the second game here tonight. Service by Marin Stuber, 5'9 sophomore. Right hand from the left side. Ooh, boy, she tried to just baby that one across and a little bit too much. 4 unforced service errors here in the second game for Wenatchee. Kellum comes out. In comes Hoffines. Moses Lake trying to stay alive here in the second game, but they won't do it like that as the service goes out of bounds. Second unforced service error by Moses Lake here in this game 2. Wenatchee now just a point away with Ava Jo Berry on the serve. Checking back in is Hallie Long. And the service by Berry. Jump serve, back line, point, maybe. Nope, it got across. Wenatchee with the counter. And the kill at the net is not going to go. And a block for Wenatchee and a point for the Panthers. And Wenatchee wins the second game 25-19. We'll take another break and come back. Get you game 3 coming up next here on the NCWLIFE Channel as the Wenatchee Panthers trying to wrap up the home part of their schedule with their 8th win in a row. We'll come back with that right after this.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
You're watching Big-9 Volleyball tonight here on the NCWLIFE Channel. Eric Granstrom with you as Wenatchee has won the first 2 games here tonight against Moses Lake. But I'll tell you what, Mavericks have come to play here. 25-17 the first game, 25-19 the second game. Wenatchee on top. Now we head to game 3. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, providing outstanding value and service since 1962. Also by Together for Youth. They'd like to encourage you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. That's medproject.org. Football coming your way Friday here on the NCWLIFE Channel as the Wenatchee Panthers host the West Valley Rams. 6:30 with our pregame. Grant and I will have all the coverage for you here from Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. And kickoff set for 7. Senior night for the football team as well. Wenatchee with a chance to claim 4th place in the Big-9 with a win and give them a shot at a crossover game to go to state the following week. Meanwhile, the battle for first place in the Big-9 will be settled in Moses Lake, where the Mavericks will host Eastmont. The Wildcats, Mavericks, and Sunnyside Grizzlies all 4-1 in the Big-9, and they've basically changed defeats with Moses Lake losing for the first time last week against West Valley. Sunnyside beat Eastmont, and now Eastmont looking to beat Moses Lake and give them the league championship and a chance to host a crossover playoff game against the probably Mid-Valley, or not Mid-Valley, but the Mid-Columbia Conference. That'd be down in the Tri-Cities, one of the schools from down there. And we believe that would be next Friday, but, you know, TBA, as they say. Play-in volleyball is next Tuesday with number 5 and 6 playing at the 3 and 4 seeds. And Moses Lake will have the service. It's Sydney McDonald, and the first serve here of game 3 is across. And a kill by Demersion. And again, boy, she's just having a really hard time up front left with that right-handed kill. Point to Moses Lake. McDonald on the service. Down the line it goes. Demersion is there. She'll reverse it, will Joe Berry, and this time Gonzalez, and her hit right into the net. Zoe not finding the range on that one. Largest lead for Moses Lake has been 2 points here tonight. That's where it is right now. Ava Joe Berry will serve it up again. This time Demersion is able to find the range and the points. (2-1). McMahon on the service now for Wenatchee. Had, 7 ties and 6 lead changes in our last game. If you're just joining us, Wenatchee winning the first 2, but having their hands full with Moses Lake here tonight. McMahon to Ava Joe Berry. The kill attempt at the net is across by Stuber. Now the counter for Moses Lake. Reverse by Bond to McMahon. Across by Demersion. Up front it comes. Here's the kill at the net by Pugh. Scrambled by Wenatchee. Can't get to it. Point to the Mavericks. 3-1. You go back on the season for Wenatchee. They lost 2 games in their first match of the season to Mount Si. Won it 3-2. They lost 3 on the road at West Valley. The only other loss of a game in a match this season was here at home against West Valley. And we're going to get an ace here for Moses Lake on the serve by Kenneth Stewart. And the Mavericks with their largest lead here of the contest at 3 points. Stewart again on the serve. Gets it across court. Wenatchee with the counters. Kill by Stuber. Into the net it goes. 5-1 Moses Lake. Stewart again for the serve for the Mavericks. Back line for Wenatchee is Tucker. Now the kill this time will get across, and this time will fall in for a Wenatchee point. I believe that was Stuber that got a big hand upon it. Elise Beyer will come in and now have the serve for Wenatchee, trying to get 5-2. Beyer back line to Torres. Moses Lake does get it across. Ooh, hefty hit up front for Wenatchee. It looked like Stuber got a big swipe on that one. Point to the Panthers, trail it by 2, 5-3 here. Have a ball that got loose, and so they'll send it back over to the other side. Beyer service for Wenatchee. And another unforced service error here tonight. Boy, uncharacteristic for Wenatchee. That was, 6 in the first game, 4 in the second game. So that's their 11th here tonight. McMahon to Ava Jo Berry. Keel at the line by Stuber. Torres to Kellum. Cross court, McMahon is there. That's right towards the net, and Jo Berry gets it across. Now Moses Lake with the counter by Bond. Up front, the kill in, and there Demersion finally able to get that connection from the front left with the right hand. Bree Sackman comes back in for Wenatchee, and Demersion will have the point. There you go again. Third time tonight we had the point getter become the server. And into the net it goes. $12 unforced service errors tonight for Wenatchee. Mavericks service by Bond. Backline to Demersion, and going up high was the kill attempt by Stuber. It goes out though. Point to Moses Lake. Sahlberg comes in. Out goes Demersion, and Bond again will have the service for the Mavericks. Leading it by 4. Cross court, that's a tough return. McMahon there reverses it. Sackman with a little touch. Ooh, beautiful shot by Bree Sackman. Left hand, just a little finger roll, and that was enough. Annalise Hernandez replaces Maddie Bond for Moses Lake. Service will be Marin Stuber. Stuber's jump serve to Torres. Jazz gets it back across. Back line is Stuber. Up front it comes to Byer. Kill into the nets by Sackman. Just a little bit off on her hit there. Kellum replaced by Hoffines as Reagan will have the service. Moses Lake by 4, 9-5. Back line it goes to McMahon. Up front to Ava Jo Berry. Cross court to Sackman. Down goes Torres. Got it. Bond gets it back across. Wenatchee rotating. Jo Berry. Sackman. Torres is there. Nice job by Jazz Torres to get that ball on a hefty hit. Now Jo Berry finds the hole in the pond. Point, Wenatchee. Moses Lake was saying that Jo Berry maybe carried it in a direct, but no. The officials say point to Wenatchee. 9-6 our score. Ava Jo Berry on the service. And hold on, we're going to reserve this. Going to make sure everything is good to go as far as the points on the scoreboard. We are tied into that scoreboard here on site to allow our graphics to work on the bottom of your screen. Jo Berry, beautiful serve right in front of everybody, and Annalise Hernandez with a big grin on her face as she and Jaslyn Torres are like, okay, I don't know what's supposed to happen there. Backline again, tough serve by Jo Berry. Moses Lake gets it back across. Down to a knee goes McMahon. Up front it goes to Jo Berry. Now the little soft hit by Zoe Gonzalez. And a kill at the net by Bree Sackman. Wenatchee's cut it to 1 at 9-8. Ava Jo with the service. Back line down to a knee again is Hoffine. She got it though. Nice job by Moses Lake. McMahon to a knee. Reverse to kill for Zoe Gonzalez. Moses Lake, bodies in motion. Fluidly around the court they go. Again, Gonzalez. Back line to Torres. Up front it comes. Here's Hoffines. Goes back line with it. Wenatchee's going to have to rearrange it. They do. They get it back across. Best volley of the night here in this 18th points here of game 3. Kill by Nell. It's in. Malia Nell coming through on senior night. Our first tie here since it was zeros in this one. Ava Jo Berry on the service. Trying to give Wenatchee their first lead here in this third game. I know you need to move that bag there. Point here to Wenatchee as the Panthers have taken the lead. Our first lead change here in this third game. Ava Jo Berry doing the honors here for Wenatchee. (10-9) the score. Jo Berry service, ace. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Moses Lake. We'll take a 30-second break and come back as well. 11-9. Wenatchee trying to get the sweep here tonight. Finish up the home part of their schedule on a winning note and pick up their 8th in a row. We'll take a break and come back. You're watching Big-9 Volleyball on the NCWLIFE Channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE master techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Timeout taken by Moses Lake as Coach Crystal Trammell wanted to get the ladies a little straightened out here. As Ava Jo Berry is on a run right now for Wenatchee. Moses Lake led by 4 when Ava Jo took over, and she's been serving ever since. Lead it now by 2 for the Panthers. Moses Lake on the return. They get it back across. Jo Berry is there to McMahon. Now up front to Sackman. Sackman back line, and that's going to skip off the end of the gymnasium here off of the scrambling diving play by Reagan Hoffines. Point for Wenatchee. Saw this last year. A couple of matches where Ava Jo Berry served like 10, 11 points in a row. She can do it. McMahon to Jo Berry. Killed by Nell. Point! Wenatchee. Boy, Malia is working well here tonight up front for the Panthers. Ava Jo Berry on the service. Back line there is Moses Lake, and Nell reaches across. Now, did she go across? No, yeah, they're going to say a point to Moses Lake because Malia Nell reached over the top of the nets onto Moses Lake's side, according to the official. Again, Kirk Einsbar is our up official. Sterling Bell is down on the floor, and Coach Marty McMahon asking Ava Jo Berry, her captain, to go over and have a word with Kirk Einsbar about what his call was there. He was the one that made the call. And I called it because it looked like Malia was across the net with that particular play. So to go over to Moses Lake, 13-10 our score, and Peyton Andrews will have the service. Short serve. Wenatchee just gets it back over. Crossover and the kill attempt by Stewart, and a point to Moses Lake as the block goes out of bounds. Leonelle comes back, looks at her coach, and just kind of shaking her head here near side. Getting service for Moses Lake. The kill by Nell, and that's going to be a point because that goes into the bench area for the Mavericks. Back in comes Jaslyn Torres for the Mavericks. Also back in for Wenatchee is Emmy Tucker, who will have the service, with the Panthers leading it by 3. Tough serve. Hoffines is there. Up front it comes on the rotation to Stewart. McMahon. Now the kill and point. Great kill by Paige Solberg. Everybody getting involved for Wenatchee tonight. Tucker. Wenatchee up to its largest lead here in the third game by 4. Back line Torres. Up front it comes on the rotation to McDonald. Now the kill attempt is Off of McMahon. If McMahon lets that go, I believe it goes deep. Substitution for Moses Lake, getting tripped over her own feet, was Bond, and she almost took out the one she was replacing, Hernandez. Meanwhile, service will be by Sidney McDonald. 3-point game. Back line. Backing up is McMahon to Joe Barry. Kill at the net left side was by Solberg. Block attempts, and we're going to get 4 hits, I think, against Moses Lake. Yep. Back in comes Stuber. Nell takes a seat. McMahon on the serve. Panthers by 4. Cross court, back line, Torres. Rotation, and they just get it across because Hofheinz didn't know else to go there. And a kill here, skips off of the defender, off the kill by Maren Stuber, and that's a point for Wenatchee. A lot more smiles on the Wenatchee side of things here in this third game after they fell behind early. Their largest lead now is at 5. McMahon, boy, that is a tough serve to handle, and Moses Lake does. And a beautiful kind of flat-footed backup swale by Pugh. Hofheinz replaced by Kellum for the Mavericks, and the serve will go to Kenneth Stewart. Crystal Trammell, head coach for Moses Lake, instructing the ladies all along. Service. McMahon ran into her teammate. Wenatchee just kind of defensively gets the ball back over, and it's too deep and a point for Moses Lake. I will say that Wenatchee kind of is going with an unusual rotation here tonight. I don't know if it's because of senior night or what, but not the usual. And this one is too deep. Good communication by Wenatchee Maren Stuber back there saying, no, that's too deep. From my perspective, it goes out of bounds. It'll be a point to Wenatchee. 18-14, Panthers up. Zoe Gonzalez comes out. Talise Beyer comes back in. Talise is also one that we've seen serve quite a few points. Moses Lake just defensively gets the ball over. Ava Jo Berry just killed it. Now it's back on the Wenatchee side. Here's a touch, and barely getting it was Solberg. And now a block attempt at the net by Wenatchee. Panthers are there. Solberg got it back across. Torres to Kellum. Kellum's kill too deep. Kellum saying that it touched the finger. And she's not going to get the officials to agree here. Meanwhile, Erin Waligorski comes back in for Wenatchee. She'll replace Maren Stuber, and Beyer will have the serve for Wenatchee, leading it by 5, 19-14. Serve by Beyer, handled by Moses Lake, and shoving it back across was Pugh, and Ava Jo Berry tried to get a cute little swipe there at the net. She had both the hands up like she was going to set it, but no, then she just tried to push it back over the net, but went into the net, and a point for Moses Lake. Jazz Torres will have the service, trailing it by 4. Got the serve across. Wenatchee got it back over. It hit a hand at the net and goes out of bounds. It'll be a point for Wenatchee. Sackman in to replace Demersion. And Paige Solberg getting the support of a raucous purple crowd here tonight. Mostly football players in the student body section. Kellum is there for the return. Reverse to Bond. Up front to Sackman. Cross court. Nice. When Bree is on it, boy, it is very tough to defend her. Again, it will be Paige Solberg on the service. Back line it goes. Moses Lake is there. Kellum with a two-handed shove across. Jo Berry to McMahon, flat-footed, just slaps it back across the net. Kellum again. We're going to get a point for Wenatchee. 2 hits going to be whistled against Moses Lake. Panthers 3 away from finishing up here. getting the sweep at home here tonight. Substitution as Holly Long comes back in and replaces Elise Beyer. Sahlberg continues on the service for Wenatchee. Serve back line to Stewart. Get it up front to McDonald. Here's Sackman. Block at the net, but it just fumbled through the fingers of two defenders. Fell towards the ground where McDonald was able to get a hand on it, but it just wasn't enough. 23-15. Served by Sahlberg. Spins a little wide here. Out of bounds. So third and fourth service here in the game here for Wenatchee. Maddie Bond will have the service for the Mavericks. Trying to find a little magic here in game 3. Bond serve was a good one. It gets across and a kill up front for Moses Lake. Nice job of getting a hand to it by Peyton Andrews. Bond on the serve, trailing it by 6. McMahon, Ava Jo Berry, kill, Moses gets it back across. Torres is there to Ava Jo, and then the kill from away from the net, tough by Hallie Long, and will be a point to Moses Lake. Mavs staying alive here, trail it by 5. Bond on the service. Kicks the net and falls in. It's one of those happy accidents. You'll take it. 3 in a row here for Maddie Bond. Can she get another? Cross court she'll go. Wenatchee with the counter. Here's Sackman. Oh, my goodness. It is so tough. So tough. Bree with the kill. Wenatchee 1 away. Malia Nell checks back in for the Panthers. Service will be to Waligorski for Wenatchee. Chance to wrap it up and win their 8th straight match on the season. Aaron with the service. Back line it goes to Torres. Up front to McDonald. They'll get it back over and in for a point. Moses stays alive. Nice job by Peyton Andrews again. Kellum replaced here by Huffines. Reagan will have the serve. Trying to keep it alive for Moses Lake, trailing it by 4. And into the net it goes, and that will be the match. Wenatchee wins it 25-20, but give credit to the Mavericks for playing really well here tonight. Some unforced errors helped them along the way, but it will be the Panthers winning their 8th straight here, 3 games to none over Moses Lake. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap it up here next on the NCWLIFE Channel.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They set, in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And our kids still talk about that. I go back now, too, and I think about all those great days and great times. The neat thing is that we can go back in today and still enjoy the same quality food that we enjoyed 50 years ago. That's legendary.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
Welcome back here on the postgame show on the Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE Channel, where the Wenatchee Panthers have won yet again here in their Big-9 schedule. 3 games to none over Moses Lake here tonight, winning the opener 25-17, the second game 25-19, and the third 25-20. So run that win streak to 8 in a row. One more game to go on the road at Eisenhower on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Moses Lake Chiefs will wrap up the season on a losing mark here tonight, and they've lost 3 in a row as they'll head for the postseason next week and play in that play-in game. Looks like they should have a home match here next Tuesday for that play-in. But again, the final here tonight is Wenatchee over Moses Lake, 3 games to none. For our crew, that includes Matthew Moore back at the studios along with Malcolm Whitehall. Here on site, we got Josiah Davison, Josiah Jones. We've got Matthew Ortiz as well as Clark Sims. It's going to wrap it up for our broadcast tonight. Thanks for joining us for Big-9 Volleyball on the NCWLIFE Channel. Have a good night, everybody.
Now handoff up the middle again. Peterson's got some room up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Abby's Pizza, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Highlander Golf Course and Grill, Les Schwab Tires, and Sangster Motors. Be sure to tune in for more local sports right here on the NCWLIFE Channel. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
Win the district championship.